In this lesson, we'll learn how to create a static homepage. Up to this point, we've created our menu page with some content and also our location and hours page with a sidebar, but we still need to add some content to our home page. Right now you can see it's just displaying a feed of our most recent posts, but since we're creating a restaurant website and not something like a blog, this really isn't going to be appropriate for our home page. So in this lesson, we're going to take a look at how we can create what's called a static home page. The first thing we want to do is create a new home page that we want to display instead of what we see here. So I'm going to come up here to New and create a new page, and I'm just going to call this Home, since that's what we're creating is a new home page. And if we came here and pasted our content in, I'm just going to go ahead and show you this. If I just add test here and publish my page, if we come here and look, you can see that our home page is not changing. So we need to change a setting so we have our home page displaying rather than our post. So one way we can get to that is by coming here and hovering over our site title, coming down to customize, and then right in this last section you see where it says static front page. You can see that our theme supports a static front page, which is awesome. And right now it's displaying our latest posts, our latest blog posts, but since we don't have a blog, I want to change this to be a static page. Next, it's going to ask us what we want to show as our front page. So from this drop-down menu, we can select our new home page, or if you wanted that to be location and hours or a different page, you would choose that from this drop-down menu. And now you can see that I'm just going to show you once again, we have our posts. As soon as we start changing this, then we have a different home page displaying over here. You might notice that this is not at all what we typed into our actual home page. When I created this, I just typed in test. So what we're typing in that page editing screen, I'll just go ahead and get back to that real fast so we can take a look at that. If we came and edit our page, you can see I typed in test, and that's not at all what's showing in here. So we need to add our content in a different area. If you're using a different theme, then this might work, but with what our theme supports, we have something called theme options, so we have to add this in a little bit different way. So we want our front page to indeed be our home page. And if you wanted a website and you don't want your front or home page to be your blog posts, but if you have like a page for a blog specifically on your site, then you could create a blogs page, and then for your post page you can just select that here, and that feed would appear on that page rather than your home page. So I'm going to go ahead and press save and publish and exit out of this customization screen. And now we can go ahead and add our content. So I'm going to hover over our site title and come down to where it says theme options. And here we have a lot of different settings that we can change about our site, and it's all going to depend on what our theme supports. So right here you can see we're in front page settings, and we have a lot of different options. If we wanted to add a slider or a slideshow to our home page, we could click and add that here. We have all different things we can control about that, such as images, headings, and captions. But I'm going to scroll past all of this because we don't have a slider on our home page, and I want to come all the way down here to where it says blurb settings. So the blurb, if you take a look at the content that's in here, is exactly the same content we see showing up on our homepage. I'm just going to come here and visit our site again, and you can see it says welcome to our agency, blah blah blah. If we switch over here, we have exactly that same content here and our blurb. So anything we enter in this section is going to show up right there on our homepage. So I'm going to pull up that content.rtf file once again, and I'm going to paste all of that content right into this little blurb area. So I'm going to hit Control C and copy that little blurb section. Okay. Select this and Control V to paste that in instead. For our blurb heading, I don't want a heading here I'm going to delete that instead. We do want our blurb to display on the home page, but we do not want the blurb button. If I switch over here, you can see it says get in touch, but that's not what I want to show up. I don't need that button, but if you like it, you can customize what that button says right here. So I'm just going to uncheck that so that blurb button doesn't display. We have different options for adding widgets, so I'm going to leave that at the default of 3. If you need more, you can have 4, and then I'm going to go ahead and save these options. Now if we come over here to our home page and refresh, we can see we have that nice amount of content showing. We have that little introductory bit of text here. Now there are some other things I'd like to change about this, such as this little border here, and we have some more content in our final version that I want to show up just to kind of remind you where we're going with this. We have this entry text, which is our blurb. We have a couple headings. Down below here, we want to add a couple different areas for more content, so we're going to learn how to do that in just a second. But before we get to that, we want to add our home page so it shows up in our menu. So now we can come back here to our menus. Now we have our home page showing up here. We can highlight it, add it to our menu. I want to go ahead and drag this up so it's the first thing in our menu, and now no matter what our live URL is, it's going to update and show the right thing for our home page rather than coming in here to our links and adding one that says home and doing the URL that way. That way will also work just fine. It just might forget to change it and you might break a link somewhere. So this way is a little bit safer. I'm going to go ahead and save this. Come back and visit our site. And now we can see we have our home page, our menu, and our location and hours page. And now we have everything we want to show up here in our main navigation. So now that we've started our home page, in our next lesson, I want to take a more in-depth look at widgets and see how we can use them to customize the rest of our home page area.